Coming to you live from Kenny's basement apartment, where we have our bellies full of single bean taco soup. And Kenny plans on clapping back tonight. It's sports allegedly.
Well, welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this episode on June 10th, 2024. We've got a lot to talk about. Going to talk a little UFL football as we get the championship game coming up this week. Obviously, some MLB. Hockey's currently on right now, 1-0. The Oilers actually have the lead against Florida in Game 2 of that best of 7. Obviously, we're going to talk about the NBA championship.
We got to talk about that first game for the Oilers.
And softball, NCAA baseball got the Final 8 for Omaha. But let's obviously start with the big news this week locally. The Oklahoma women's Sooner softball team on Thursday marked their 4th straight national championship with a 2-0, or it's a best of 3 series, 2 wins over bitter rival.
Let's call it a shutout.
Bitter rival of Texas, who, like I said, Sean, they were the two best teams overall all year long. They swapped a little bit back and forth. OU was obviously at the beginning of the year till they lost. Texas come in, immediately lost, and they switched back and forth. Series went in the 3-game series. Texas actually won that series 2-1. Oklahoma returns the favor and giving them a loss in the Big 12 championship, and then of course they go on and face each other last Wednesday and Thursday in the title game. Now, the one thing that I had said pretty much from the beginning of the year, and even as it got into the year, that I didn't think OU was going to be as good as a team. I thought last year's team was one of the best all time. I think they had 1 loss total. Obviously, they set the win streak last year, and
they had
in the 70s.
They had 2 really good pitchers last season.
Correct. And so with Ball leaving, I thought that was going to hurt them. Well, Maxwell steps up, and why watch Maxwell at OSU? I thought she was a really good pitcher. I didn't think she had.
You didn't think she was a shutdown pitcher.
I did.
Like she ended up becoming.
Yeah, and I was not that I didn't think that she'd played or pitched well all year.
That's your flaw.
That's the big flaw. I didn't think that she pitched well all year. But I think that everybody just turned it up in the World Series. You look at they did have the one the bad game against Florida, lost 9-3. That's when Florida had come out of the losers bracket, had to beat them twice, got the first game from OU. I think it was 9-3, and then OU turns around, beats them, took 8 innings to do it, only beat them by 1 run to get into the championship. Where Texas beat Kennedy and Stanford that first game, and that was it. Stanford had to beat them twice to get in. Texas won Game 1, and they got the extra day of rest. I thought the freshman pitcher that Kavon that they put out on Game 1 for Texas, I thought she was going to be. She was a star the whole year, and the hitters for Oklahoma showed up. It was impressive. You never count them out. There's been so many wins over their past 4 years. Those seniors that are leaving, and some of the fifth year in the fifth year seniors. But this year they finished 59-7. Obviously won the Big 12 title, won the regional, won the super regional, both in Norman. And then obviously won the national championship. Over the 250 games of the past 4 years, 234 and 15. It's a 940 winning percentage, 0 shutouts. They were shutout none. They were run ruled none. And the thing about that was 114 shutouts, 49% of their wins, and 131 run rules. That was 56% of their wins over those 4 years were run ruled. It's nuts. I don't think you're ever going to see it. Obviously, they set the longest winning streak in softball history, and then that puts Patty Gasso tied with the former Arizona coach for 8 national championships. So, what's next?
What's next is I'm interested to see what she does in the offseason. Pitcher-wise, also to replace the 5 seniors that are leaving. Transfer portal, recruitment, what she's got going on.
Did have Avery Hodge, the second baseman. She played second base in the series. This kind of the smaller girl played really well. Had a couple blunders on defense, but overall,
it was in that last game.
She's transferring.
What?
Yeah, and back to Texas. I think she's from Texas. And Quincy Leo, I think. Leo. Didn't have a whole lot of playing time, youngster.
I saw
she's trancing, and then there was another one that I didn't know. So there's 5 spots open currently right now for portal people. I think it was we have 5 or 6 of the number of the top ranked softball recruits coming in. I think it was 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 11. It was something to that nature that are coming in as far as the recruiting class. So they'll be incoming soon. So it's obviously going to be I hate to call it rebuilding because they've got so much talent, the youth talent they got, especially in the hitting side. But they're going to have to get some pitching. Obviously, May's gone, and then Maxwell, the stud, obviously is gone. So she's going to have to come in and get. That was the other one. S.J. Guerin transfer. Didn't pitch much. Redshirted in 2023. So their story on softball. And
baby guts.
Rumor had it that Gajewski turned down talking to Auburn. I don't know if he ever made it or if that was just a rumor, but there was talk that he was going to go discuss that job opening with them. So, all right, what are you going to talk about now?
Just congratulations to the Oklahoma Sooner women for what they have done, especially in this day and age with the transfer portal and making a four-peat of it.
I think the winning. I don't know what's.
Is the winning streak more impressive, or you
talking about 4 in a row or the winning streak? I think the winning. I think the winning streak is, and the only reason I say that was in the 70s.
Well, you naysayed for the last 2 seasons.
It was the 70s. It was in the 70s. So I mean that's impressive. When softball, you see so many close scores. I mean I think that's more impressive because that's not just one season. I mean you're running across multiple seasons. For that. So our third guest tonight in the portal is this big ass fly that has decided to join us.
And there's a little gnat friend.
And his little gnat friend. So we'll be battling him tonight like we'll battle memory on baseball. Let's talk about college baseball.
Oh, my brain. Big 12 had a bad showing. You didn't make it out of their regional. To Texas, they didn't make it out of theirs.
No.
Out of their region,
yeah.
They were in with A&M. The SEC looked to be dominating, and then I haven't seen today's game. Yesterday's is what it was.
So what's impressive to me is you look at this.
West Virginia had the better showing out of any Big 12 baseball team.
It looks like.
Didn't they win a game? Kansas State they got shut out in 2 games. No wins.
Yeah, Kansas State. That was
didn't West Virginia at least get one, or they got close?
They had one that I think they might have won.
I know the top team, Tennessee, they lost a massive game to Evansville. I don't know, was it the pitching?
It was just one. It was
like 10-1.
It was a high scoring game. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I know Evansville took the second game, wasn't it?
Kansas State lost both games, 7-4 and 10-4.
Yeah. Did West Virginia?
And West Virginia, where is West Virginia?
There they are. No, that's Virginia.
I didn't see them. I didn't see them in there.
They made it in.
I know.
There they are. They lost North Carolina.
Oh, there they are right there, North Carolina.
8-6, 2-1. So, I mean, the closer games.
Yeah.
But
so
Big 12's completely out of any contention for Omaha.
Well, no, the interesting thing, so you got the
SEC looked to be the strongest.
Well, no, and it's set. You got SEC and ACC. That's it. Out of all 8 teams, first time to ever happen.
So Oregon got knocked out.
So Friday, the 14th, is when they're going to start. This Friday.
Oh, but the Florida Clemson game was great. The one last night.
Yes.
Did that go 12 innings?
And I watched the Kentucky-Oregon State game last night.
I didn't watch. I was watching.
That was actually a pretty good game too.
Hockey, football.
All right, so Florida opens up.
Football. I was watching football.
Sorry, Florida State opens up on this Friday with Tennessee. What a hell of a matchup in Game 1, and then North Carolina and Virginia, and then you've got bracket 2. You've got Kentucky versus Georgia, NC State. Sean, you got an update on that game right now? Is that game over yet?
Is that game on right now?
Well, it was on. It should be over now. So Sean's going to get an update on that game. Kentucky's going to play the winner of Georgia, NC State, and no, it's tonight. I'm sorry, it was at 6.
Well, I thought it was going on.
Yeah, it is. So right,
you gotta go. They don't put it
we're
on.
8:45.
You gotta go in deep and then deeper.
All right. Currently, top of the 8th, NC State leads 6-4.
8-4 over
8-4,
Georgia.
sorry. 8-4 over Georgia.
Learn how to read.
Georgia is the home team, so they will have 2 more tries at batting to take over that lead. Okay, so the winner of this game looks like NC State, but you never can tell the baseball. They'll play Kentucky. Surprise, first time in Kentucky, and the last SEC team to never make Omaha was Kentucky, and they made it. Yes, so it's the first time they've ever made it. So
That's very interesting.
Congratulations to them, and then obviously Florida, who was one of the last teams in, who everyone bitched about them getting in, beat Oklahoma State, kicked them out. They were 24-20.
We're going back to the Ole Miss. Remember, people bitched about Ole Miss getting in, and Ole Miss.
Florida has advanced.
Florida going off RPI, ladies
Florida
and
will play generally the number 1 ranked team between them. Who else has been? North Carolina, Tennessee. Those 3 teams.
Georgia. I forgot who the other. Florida State. Their number.
And A&M was the other one. Anyway, that's who Florida's going to play. So they'll play them Saturday at 6, and Kentucky in the Georgia NC State game gets the afternoon game. So, all right, Omaha, there you go. Looks like the when it gets down to it, the dates, the finals, best 2 out of 3, that game 1 will start Saturday the 22nd. So you're going to get your final 2 in a week and a day to start. So when you start next Friday, it'll be a week and a day, and you'll have the start of.
Wait, I'm confused. So in a week and a day, we'll know who's.
Well, you're actually going to know before that because they're actually going to play game 1 in a week and a day. So it's just going to take.
Why don't you just say the day?
Well, I read that back. I was thinking different. So I wished I would have knew. I knew
all of our one viewers.
I wouldn't have known when that was.
By God, keep saying week and a day.
A week and a day, we're going to start. How about that?
I just can't wait till the end of this when you go on your diatribe. So, SEC again, toughest baseball in the nation.
Yeah, it will really depend.
OU Texas is moving over there, and we might have some struggles with that.
Four SEC teams right now. And 3 ACC. So NC State, it'll make it an even split, 3-3.
So we could be looking at 5-3
if Georgia makes the comeback. Yes.
And like we said, it's 8-4 top of the 8th. I got to go back to today. Why are they playing this game so late?
I don't know why they had to do this one.
I noticed. I noticed it when they started the game.
Actually, was it game 3?
This is game 3.
Yeah, that's why.
Did nobody else go to game 3?
Both. No.
Oh, that's why.
Nobody did. Oh no, Tennessee did.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And Tennessee had started.
Evansville.
But Tennessee started a day early.
They did. Okay.
Yeah, that's why. So.
All right, that makes.
Yeah,
sense.
that was the only other one, which is very rare too. And both games were blowouts between the both. NC State won the first game 18-1, and Georgia turned around and won 11-2.
And now we're playing a 4-run lead. They got looks like they got 2 in the 8th. How many outs do we have?
Just going to we're going to the bottom of the 8th right now.
Oh, okay.
Just starting.
All right, so Georgia, the Bulldogs are going to be up.
Now it looks like they got middle of the order. Well, actually bottom of the order, 6, 7, 8 batters coming up, so they should be able to round out if they don't get any production here. They'll be able to round out, and they'll have the top of the order coming back. And you definitely want to get that 9-man out.
What do they need? What does Georgia need to come back in this game?
Timely hitting.
Timely hitting. God, I needed him to say it at least once. He never said it during the OU congratulations.
I just talked about how great they kicked ass. I mean, as far as hitting, it wasn't timely. I mean,
no, it was
they
just
really
hitting.
Came together.
Like creative,
and that's what you saw.
Creative
with,
hitting.
And that's what you saw with Ole Miss 2 years ago in the baseball world. Is they just ran through it, and it was just one of those things. I mean, it was nuts. But big shout out to Kentucky first timers. I always like to see that, and they've got a good team. I mean, they actually could make a run. Look for Tennessee or A&M to win it all, in my opinion.
Who became their coach? Who's Kentucky's head coach?
Mione? Hold on.
Mangino?
No, that's what it looks like. Mingione. Mingino. No, it's God. I should. It's like Mingone or Gione. Gione.
G-I-N-G-O.
Mingione. It's either Mingione or Mingione.
Nick Mingione.
Yeah, there we go. So, and he's been there a while, actually. I think.
Oh, he's from Terrytown. We all know where Terrytown is.
Now, there was a rumor I saw on Twitter, and I don't know if it's true or not. But
he's been there since 2017.
Yeah, so it's been a little
So
bit.
they made Super Regional last season.
Yes, they've been a good team.
Okay, so they made it in his first season. They made it to Super Regional. Didn't make it any other time. 2020 COVID season.
Yeah.
23 they made it to Super Regional. Now they're in the World Series.
Very nice. And they really haven't. I mean, they just been kind of mediocre except the last 2 years, and that first one he was there, obviously.
Yeah, it looks like he went to school at Embry-Riddle. Can you guess where that is?
How about Montana?
Cincinnati.
Oh, okay, didn't know that.
Man, I have no idea. Cool, that's a fun little. I don't know. Nobody cares. All right, where are we at?
Well, I was looking at a rumor about Texas making a change at their baseball coach. So,
but they did fine. I don't.
Oh, you know Texas.
Who are they going to hire?
They got bags of money, and they think they're going to. I mean, and essentially Texas should. I mean,
so they're just going to keep doing
There's
this
no coincidence that Texas sports have gotten better since paying players has become fashionably legal.
So we're just going to. She spit on me.
Sorry.
So we're just going to start going through coaches until you find one you like. The basketball team, of course, he did a violence, allegedly. I guess they're happy with Sarkisian until he fails when he goes to the SEC.
Well, David Johnson is the baseball coach. Rumor has it that, and no, Skip's not coming back to Texas. He's going to stay at OU. Tony Vitello, the Tennessee coach, has been the rumored name. They're going to pay him a shit ton of money and promise him all kinds of nil money to play with.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
And that's the rumor. So we shall see.
All right. Well, that was our baseball update for NCAA. Remember, a week and a day, everybody.
Still will be the beginning.
Still have no idea what's going to happen in a week and a day, but in a week and a day.
Week and a day.
Week and a day.
All right. Let's get a update on the hockey. Currently,
you are really interested.
Game 2. The Panthers have scored. So it was 1-0 at first intermission. We've got about a little less than 6 minutes left in the game. I've got some baseball news.
6 minutes in the second period.
Second period, sorry.
6 minutes a second. He doesn't understand how hockey works.
I understand it. I read it wrong. Everyone knew what I meant.
But I was looking for scoring. God, stupid net.
What'd you find?
I haven't found any. I found a gnat in my mouth. Oh, here it is. Mikula. He got assists from Lundell and Tarasenko.
I got you.
In the at the 9:34 minute.
Not too shabby. Well, makes the game interesting.
Well, you saw. We're just gonna go to hockey now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Well, you saw that Bobrovsky in that first game, 32 shots faced, 32 saves at 1,000%. I mean, he pitched a shutout. They could not get the puck around him.
No, I mean,
at 32 shots,
it was nuts. It was impressive. And I think though, I told you I thought Panthers would maybe go 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
They'd win it in 5. And Edmonton is not necessarily a surprise that they're there because they have the talent. It's just Florida has kind of been building for this.
Florida's been building this the last.
We saw it last
3
year.
Seasons, yeah.
We saw it last year, and what they made the run and just got their ass kicked in the championship
They
by a much better team, obviously.
And then that team just fell apart.
But they learned,
like the Vegas Knights.
But that's good experience. Yeah, exactly. But it's good experience.
Yeah. It was a very good experience. Like I said, they have their own. They have their own like separate goalie training facility.
I believe your White Sox have a man on first. I'm sure they'll leave him stranded.
Oh man, we're not even talking about. I was looking at the score last night, and I forgot who we were playing. It was 6-4 or 6-5 in the eighth, and I was like, "We'll blow it." Sure enough, 10 innings later, we blew it.
Go extra innings.
10 innings later, we blew it.
Anything else on hockey? That's kind of been the big news.
I know that Edmonton's trying to solve that Bobrovsky problem. Just scoring a goal. McDavid and Draisaitl.
But
they have taken. They found out they took McDavid and Draisaitl off of the penalty kill. They've got 33 straight penalty kills now. Edmonton does.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I know they came in before they went into the second. They had 32 straight penalty kills. And I think the record's 34. And that might be Montreal.
I have just a little bit of news on hockey as far as
we're going to get some Kenny news.
So Toronto fired their coach.
Yes.
Keefe. He's automatically picked up by the Devils.
Uh-huh.
They fired Lindy Ruff, who I love. Lindy Ruff. Yes. He's going back to Buffalo.
Yep.
Which I love. Now, Lindy Ruff will bore you to tears with his offense. I mean, but his defense. So great. His defense. I mean, if you like defense, it's obviously
Lindy Ruff will just wear you down. No, pass it. Take the fifth shot.
I thought the Kraken pulled the plug a little bit early on David High School. Todd McClellan, he got fired.
Well, so they got rid of him. It was a slow decline was the reason why they got rid of him, because they had like the same start as the Golden Knights. Really good. You go to the playoffs. I think they made the playoffs the second year, and then they missed the playoffs like the last two seasons, and they finished third to last or something like that this year, fourth to last. I forgot what it was.
So,
but yeah, that's where they fired the Kraken.
Craig Berube got fired from the Blues, which I thought was a horrible. I mean, obviously he was the coach that came in, changed that team, and won the 19 championship. He gets picked up immediately. He's the new coach of the Maple Leafs. So you're going to see some grit and toughness
we
out
just got a bunch of changes.
Just a couple of that had went out.
Nobody's even been out of a job for long.
So, like I said, the former Leafs went to the Devils. Berube went to the Leafs, and then obviously if you have Lindy Ruff going back to Buffalo, and then you've had assistants take over. So Bannister signed with the St. Louis, and you had who was the other one? I think it was what was the
That's still what Chicago's doing with their coach.
And the Kings. I think the Kings they hired that. So, but anyway, and then you see the headline right there: Stanley ratings up 43% across North America.
Absolutely.
Odd, and one of the reasons probably some of the bigger name teams are in there. Probably New York making a run probably helped.
It did. All the Rangers fans finally had a reason to watch again.
And then you've got people in Florida that don't really watch hockey until their sports are kind of lingering.
No, you think about it.
There's nothing going on in basketball, though.
But it doesn't matter. You got to think about how many snowbirds either move to
That's true. Colder
retire,
people that were hockey fans to begin with.
From the east, from the northeast, and then they move all the way down to Florida.
Good point. That's a good point.
I mean, we saw that Mafia guy when we were on vacation.
From Chicago? Kenny from Chicago?
No. That was the pedo.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about the old guy across the way. Had the two guys that always stood behind him.
Yes, that's right.
Talk in his ear. You weren't scared of that guy. That's right. You weren't scared of that. You were scared of the Colombiano and Kenny from Chicago.
Yeah, Kenny from Chicago. All right. Well, there's your hockey news. Sean, we still 1-0. Yep. Looks like going to be about.
1-1.
Or I'm sorry, 1-1. 3 minutes left in the second.
I don't understand how your brain works.
No, I was reading something else.
I don't know where
I saw that 0.
I don't know where you're at half the time.
1-0. I'll get those scores right tonight. All right, let's
I'm hoping it goes 7 games. I would love to see a 7-game series.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to
happen. Like I said, I love both of these teams. I enjoy watching them. I think that's another reason Edmonton's in. Edmonton has a huge fan base. So, and Canadians are finally, there's a Canadian team in the Stanley Cup for the first time since.
Yeah, and that helps. But that said North
Like,
Americans. Well, I guess, they're kind of Canada, too. It did say North American, not just United States, did it?
I don't know.
I think it was
I
North
didn't
American, yeah. So it was counting all of that. So that's obviously going to help the ratings then when you have a hockey team. So does the other hockey the teams root for them, or do they hate them? Would that be like Texas playing Toronto and or like,
I think right now it's just they're happy there's a Canadian team that can bring the Stanley Cup home for the first time in 8 years or something.
Okay.
I forgot when the last time and who it was that won or played. I know Vancouver's had a few times. Remember Vancouver burned whenever they lost. So.
All right.
I just ended on a so.
On a so.
I just ended on a so.
All right, let's talk a little UFL. Move into your segue.
Oh, you don't want to NBA it?
No, we can do that after.
I'm confused.
Well, because I want to go NBA into my WNBA.
Well, when do I get to do my ELF news?
You can do that right after this. All right, obviously the UFL has come down to their championship. Stallions beat the Panthers and 31-18 in Birmingham.
Okay,
obviously,
and that was a real okay. So the first 2 quarters of that game really good, really fun. It was very close. I think it was 12-9 in that. Did they have the breakdown?
I don't know. Their cool website takes forever to load on
I
stats.
I know.
When I need my stats, I need them now.
Yeah.
There we go.
But the third quarter, I believe there were
18-12 at half.
Okay, 18-12 at half.
Yeah, Stallions were down.
And Michigan was up.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in that third quarter there were 3 or 4 interceptions.
Did Matt
Corral ended up coming in.
That's what it looks like. 9 of 11, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns.
So Skip was looking at Adrian, and then Adrian took 4 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
And Skip was like, "All right, Matt, you're going in." And Matt's second or third pass, he threw an interception.
Yeah, he did 2 touchdowns, 1 pick.
But yeah, I had to remind Danny Etling was starting for Michigan. I had to remind you who Danny Etling was. You had totally forgotten.
I have. God, look at the penalties for Birmingham, though. Jeez, 11.
Sloppy game.
Yeah. And still come out and won. Obviously scored 19.
The fourth quarter, they opened it up. The end of the third, beginning
scored
of the fourth.
Scored 19 unanswered in the second half to beat them 31-18. So, all right, there's your XFL side?
No, that's the
USFL.
USFL side.
Okay, yeah, that's why I have to.
Now, the XFL side was a very, very horrible game for St. Louis. They couldn't get anything going right. The offense was stagnated by Wade Phillips' defense. I don't know how to explain it. It was just bad.
Well, let's explain it. Oh, 25-15 was the final on that game. That's the XFL side.
A.J. McCarron couldn't get anything going, and Hakeem Butler, who's probably going to go back to the NFL.
Looks like there's a lot of talk. Yes. Looks like there's a lot of talk.
He's 6'6", and I know you like them big talls.
There you go.
We know you like them tall boys.
So it was 13-3 at half, and they did get 12. St. Louis did get 12 points in the second, but 239 total yards.
It was not the same Battlehawks team that you saw throughout the season.
Can you say that Wade Phillips is one of the more underappreciated defensive minds of all time?
Yeah.
Everywhere he goes, that guy wins. He wasn't a great head coach at the Cowboys.
3 years is all they gave him.
Simply because, it's the Cowboys.
Well, I went and looked at it. He'd been interim coach at Houston.
Mm-hmm.
He was interim coach for not the Browns. Maybe it was the Jets. He had interim coached at a couple other places.
Bills, maybe? Or was he actually the Bills?
Just go look and hit.
Or was he actually the Bills coach?
He was the Bills coach. He got 2 years there.
Interim at
the Falcons. That's what
then Dallas was 4 years there. And interim at the Texans.
Yeah, he should have stayed. He should have just stayed defensive coordinator. I think he's doing really well in this. I mean, he's got Chase Gabers looking good. Or Garbers. A.J. McCarron looked like hell, but A.J. McCarron was playing with a taped-up ankle.
Playoff record's 0-4 for Wade, though. That sucks.
Well, hey, you know what? Playoff record now is 1-2, 1-3. If you go back to the XFL season.
They did win in the 2010, signed a contract season through 2011, and was fired in 2010.
I don't know what 010 is.
One win in the first 8 games. My word, 2010 is what I meant.
Yeah, but you always say 010.
Garrett was then the head coach then, and that's who took over for way too long. So imagine all the wasted years the Cowboys had with Jason Garrett as the head coach.
Oh, I don't have to imagine. I watched it.
And then we're going to imagine.
I enjoyed it.
Then we're going to imagine how many wasted NBC nights we've got with him and Chrissy Sims. It's just, it's too much.
Oh my God, are they the night guys?
I don't know. I've seen them enough on there, so they're back and forth. So they're not like they're like the.
So bad.
I think the last I seen them, they were in studio. They weren't calling games. They were like in the halftime setting
with Jesse Palmer.
No, I think it was Dungy still, wasn't it? So I think he's still on NBC. Who's awesome. So.
Poor Dungy. I mean, he just needs to just chill at home. He looks like he's just struggling to be in public every time he's on TV.
Looks like the St. Louis linebacker, obviously. Sean, if you go down to defense.
That's right here. No, Jake Sutherland had a good game.
Is his name Willie Haney? Willie Haney, 78 tackles, 10 games. Looks like he's going to be Willie Harvey. Sorry. Willie Harvey. He's also a potential NFL guy, is what I've heard. Obviously the kicker.
Oh, Jake Bates?
Is he trying out? Did he get invited or something to one of the...
I would hope so.
All right.
I would hope so. Let's look. Jake Bates. Because he never got a chance in the NFL.
Didn't get a chance in the college either.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, he got hurt. Oh, boy. What did he, stub a toe? Or let's see what he got.
Jake Bates helped the Panthers jump out to 12-0.
Oh. Missed a pair of field goals.
Yeah, something's... What does this say? Free agent Jake may come up with an injury. Misses came on a block kick where Bates slipped and appeared to suffer a foot injury.
Gotcha.
And that was in Birmingham. It's sunny, so I don't know. Maybe he had the wrong cleats on?
Could be weather related too.
It was sunny. It was clear.
Maybe
hot.
Maybe a moist
field.
Moist humidity was getting to it.
That's our next T-shirt.
Moist.
Sports allegedly, our moist field.
All right. Got a little baseball chatter.
What's going on in baseball that nobody cares about right now?
Well, we're just going to give a few quick standing talk.
You're just going to talk about the stupid Guardians.
Don't be jelly.
I'm not. The White Sox are going for the worst team in the league. We're going for the record.
Well, and you guys had a trade too. You traded one of your all-stars, Luis. What's his name?
For what? What did we trade for? Trash?
I didn't see the final.
Like a bag of trash?
You might look that up.
Did we just trade?
I'll let you look that up.
Just trade for a bag of trash.
You look up the. Oh, you can't. Well, you can look. Yeah, look up the White Sox trade. Luis Rivera, is that his name? Got traded. I thought I had that on my notes, but I can't find it.
Trash.
Cannot find it. Anyway, we'll talk a little standings. Yankees 2 games up on the Orioles in the AL East. AL Central, the Guardians have a 4-game lead.
Luis Roberto.
Yeah, that's it. Luis Roberto. Yes.
This is potential.
I thought it was done.
I don't know why we're trading.
One day ago. Well,
why would we be?
Maybe we haven't traded. Maybe I just saw that. Well, I was wrong. Good, they haven't traded him. That's the rumor that he's going to be traded.
Why? Like I said, are we going to get a bag of trash for it?
Guardians 4 games up on the Royals. American League White Sox down just 26 games.
Hey, what's our differential? Like 178,
and
184?
Mariners lead the Rangers. God, Mariners are the only one in that division. Between Rangers, Astros, Athletics, and Angels. And Athletics actually have a lead over the Angels at this moment right now, which is nuts.
What?
Yeah, the Angels.
What are you talking about?
Athletics, I meant. Athletics have a lead over the Angels right now. They're ahead of them.
Oh, I thought you were talking about number one. I was like,
No.
no.
In the NL, you got Phillies with a 9-game lead. Braves, Phillies are just kicking ass this year. Off to one of their best starts, if not the best start in league history. Brewers, surprisingly, up. Reds, Cubs, Cardinals, Pirates, all below 500. And then, of course, you got the Dodgers, also the only team in the National League West that has a winning record.
Superstar outfielder.
So, one interesting stat I wanted to bring up about, because I'm obviously a Cleveland fan, is one of our players, Daniel Schneemann, he came his first 6 games. He's the first MLB player since 1906 to appear
Dude, you're just boring
in his
people.
first 6 games. Listen to this. He played 6 different positions.
The hand and the spinning.
Six different positions in his first 6 games. So that's impressive. Second base, shortstop, third base, left field, center field, right field. We ain't got no
Dude,
center
just
field.
about whatever it takes
So-
to get Robert in L.A.
That's so.
7 bags of trash?
Yeah. Well, what does the Dodgers got to give up? I mean, what do they got? Just
That's
cash?
what I say. Well,
I mean, it's
well, yeah, here's $1,500 million.
we got Ohtani.
Defer payments.
We've got Ohtani on deferred for the next 10 years or 20 years.
But this
So
is what
we
they
could-
said. Should they go all in for Luis Roberto? I want to say Roberto. Luis Robert Jr.
What is the gain for the Dodgers or the Yankees? I can see because it's been a while. But what's the gain for the Dodgers to go in and win another?
Are they making that much money in their playoff runs that because they spend so much?
Everybody in L.A. loves the Dodgers and loves the Lakers.
Yeah, but is that just when they're winning?
Oh no, they still love them whenever they're losing. Now the Kings are up and down. They do the Kings they like whenever they're winning. The Kings they don't really care about whenever they're losing.
Gotcha.
But the Dodgers are seasonal. Like everybody loves going to Dodger Stadium. They can't wait for the summer to come around. They get their Dodger dogs. You can buy Dodger dogs in the grocery store. You can bars will sell them. Here's the Dodger dog. All it is a hot dog. It's a longer hot dog. That's it.
Well, we're about.
It's not made out of real Dodgers.
A little over a month.
I thought it was real Dodgers.
A little over a month till the All-Star game. That's July 16th. So essentially, that'll be over halfway for the season. It's a little bit. It should be a little bit over. So baseball is chugging along. Now will be the time in the next couple of weeks when baseball and when basketball and hockey wrap up is when kind of become the star. All right, get on to your Eastern Europe Conference Gazi.
It's not Eastern Europe.
European League.
It's pretty much based in Germany.
Okay.
So the Vienna Vikings are 3-0.
Nice.
And we're going to get your son a Vienna Vikings shirt because they're purple.
I kind of like that logo, though. That's kind of cool.
The Berlin Thunder, one of the OG.
The Thunder. Yeah.
Did you really have to do that?
Panthers used Carolina's logo.
The Warclaw Panthers.
And they're 1-2.
The Prague Lions are 0-3. The
Not to get confused with the Prague, Oklahoma Lions.
Prague, yeah. And then we get to the Central Conference. Stuttgart Surge are 2-0. The Raiders of Triol are 2-1. The Munich Ravens are 2-1. Milano Seamen 1-2. Barcelona Dragons 1-2. And the Helvetic Mercenaries 0-2. They are not having a good season.
No.
So, this Paris Musketeers.
Musketeers.
Do you know who plays on that team?
I have no idea.
Remember Chandler Jones?
Chandler Jones
played for the Patriots, cornerback. Got into
Where did he play college?
got into trouble with the law in L.A.
Is he a defensive guy?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a cornerback.
Okay.
There
we go.
Yeah. He's playing on that team.
Really?
Yeah.
Also on the Raiders.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When he was on the Raiders, he got in trouble with the law.
Oh, I see. Oh, and played in Syracuse. Okay. At
So
Syracuse.
when you go down, you'll see that it talks about his legal dribbles there.
God, he signed a 3-year, 51-year.
He was the
contract.
one. He was the one that they called the.
Oh, he got locked out. Is he
the-
the one pulling
yeah.
the... That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So he's playing with the Paris Musketeers now. He had 2 interceptions. And I'm going to tell you, when you watch those videos, there's one commentator. One was an American who sounded like you, was boring as hell, always wanted to just read stats.
I
no
don't
idea
always
who was,
read stats.
No idea who was on the damn team. The other was a German that every time they kicked the football and went through the uprights, he goes, and it's through the pylons. I was like, it's like, no, Bubba. No, I get that somebody has taught you how to, but he was more entertaining. But I get that, the pylons are here, Bubba. They're not. These are the uprights. But yeah, they had a lot of they had a lot of fun. I was watching. It's regular football, but they do the kickoff. They do the modified kickoff that I believe the NFL is going to go to this year.
But I've heard that they've got some changes, and I haven't really looked at that. But this guy had a good early record.
I'm just saying, Chandler Jones, he played for the Cardinals. Had a
5 years, $82 million was that contract. Then turns around, signed another contract. Like I just told you, 3-year, $51 million at the end of his year. I mean, that's not chump change.
Dude, they were playing. God, I can't remember who they were playing. It was.
He
Paris.
got hurt in 20.
It was either Paris versus the Rhine Fire, or
He was a Pro Bowler in 21 with the Titans. Okay, so that makes sense.
Or the Berlin Thunder. But he jumped a route. He jumped the route, and he was 2 steps ahead of the wide receiver when the quarterback threw it to him.
Good.
So yeah, there's other Americans.
He's got to be up there in age, though. I went back. I should have looked at his age.
Oh yeah, he's old.
Gotcha.
Chandler Jones is 35, maybe 34. Chandler Jones age 34. Yeah, he had that trouble with.
God, he's younger than I thought, though.
He had that trouble with Las Vegas.
Yes.
And they called the competency, had him put away in an institution for a couple days, and I don't know how that lawsuit ever came out. There's another lawsuit. But yeah, he's over there playing. There's other Americans over there playing. There was a kicker that didn't really get to go anywhere, never got to kick during the season.
All right. Anything else on that?
No, but it is fun to watch. But it's like watching American football with soccer fans, because they will be blowing their horns and they will be doing what
refs.
sucks. Yeah, nobody's killing the ref. But yeah, it is entertaining.
All right.
And it's more football through the seasons.
Well, let's segue right there. Let's segue. We'll talk a little bit about college football. The college football playoff was announced. That was an update. 1-1 on the hockey game. It's second intermission.
We know. We already said.
Oh, did you say that? I thought there was like 3 minutes left of our last update. Okay. All right. College football playoff. First year of the 12. Going to start Friday, let me spit that out. Friday, December 20th will be the first game. It'll be 7 o'clock, ABC, or it'll be ABC, ESPN on that one. Saturday, you're going to have a noon game.
Wait a minute. So, where are these games at?
Home. That's going to be home. Now, remember, the first 4 have a bye. So, this is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8's home. Which I haven't figured out how they're going to deal with that money revenue sharing there, because 1, 2, 3, 4 is missing out on something. You know what I mean?
Why did they not use bowl games for that?
Well, they have right here.
No. In the quarterfinals.
Well, I think
in the first.
Yeah, I think they're wanting the home field advantage. So you've got those 4 games right there. That's 8 teams. That drops you down to 4. Then you've got the 4 subs, or the 4 buys, and then you go down to 2 and 1. So Friday and then Saturday, there's 3 games Saturday, noon, 4 p.m., and 8 p.m. This is all Eastern times on the 21st. That'll be the Saturday before Christmas. Then you get 10 days, unless you played on the 20th. But let's say you get 10.
Not a week in a day.
Not a week in a day, just 10. You get 10 days. The next one, look at this. The quarterfinal is going to be on a... Now, obviously, it's on a Tuesday night because of the scheduling of it's New Year's Eve night.
Yeah.
So you got New Year's Eve night. You're going to have a 6:30 game. That's going to be the Fiesta Bowl. Then Wednesday on January 1, you got to get your butt up early and watch the Peach Bowl. That's going to be at noon. And then the Rose Bowl, obviously, that's going to be that afternoon game at 4, which is perfect for that game.
Most people are up by noon anyway.
No, I said, but I'm just saying it's an early game for some at noon, because that's going to be a.
It's the drinking festival.
That's right. And then you got to maintain, and then you're going to have the Sugar Bowl that night on the first.
Have to maintain.
First. So now you're gonna have. There you go. There's your final four. Final four. You get an 8-day gap between there. So that now this is the odd one. You get an 8-day gap, and then you go into Thursday, January 9th, which I guarantee you, unless I'm missing something, won't there be? Is this going to be an NFL? NFL won't be playing because I bet it'll be playoffs then, won't it? Okay, so we cake that out. But still a Thursday night on ESPN at 6:30, and then a Friday on the 10th will be the Cotton Bowl. So you've got the Orange Bowl at night game and the Cotton Bowl, which obviously that'll be at Jerry's World, so they could put the roof down or in if they are up, across, whatever.
Okay, so
they'll start that weekend.
They'll start that Friday.
Yes, that weekend. Okay.
It's tentative now.
Yeah, tentative. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So that's why they're playing on Thursday. Friday generally, I bet they won't start. I bet it's going to be Saturday playoffs. And then, so it's Thursday, Friday. That's why those games are there, not to compete with the NFL. That's why it's an odd time. And then you go January 20th, 10 days, another break. January 20th will be your 2025 championship in Atlanta. Do you think the credit should be given to these teams now that win these playoffs a little more? You know, you think about back in the day, you only had to win one game. You had to get there, but you only had to win one to be the champ. Mm-hmm. Now you've got to win, at the minimum, 3 to be the champ. No longer 2. It's got to be 3. Sometimes 4. Interesting stat's going to be is when is the first group of these win it all with that extra game?
Oh, it all depends on who gets stuck in there and who's a really good team that just hasn't shown out yet. I mean, it could be the first season.
A week off less game is a huge advantage.
It could be the first. Plus, it could be this year. We could see it this year.
But then you've got the 1 seeds.
I know. We could still see it this year.
It's possible. I mean, I think it's going to be something that's going to be interesting to see how long. It's going to be something commentator says, oh, this is going to be, it's the first one to make it to the champion, or even make it to the championship.
Some moron like you.
From that section of that, from the first round. Because of the amount of time, you've got 30 days between first playoff game to the championship if you're their first round. Then you've also got, think about the break, you've got another, 20 games if you're not in the championship, which you probably will be here. Mm-hmm. Well, not necessarily. You might actually not even be in the championship because those championships teams are going to be over here.
All you got to do is look at the FCS.
Well, no, but I'm saying
what they've done.
No, but I'm saying how they set it up. I mean, your champions, your conference champions are in this section. Most of them. Some of them will be over here for the lower conferences.
Conference champions,
you know what I mean?
Are in the playoff quarterfinal.
I was mainly just making a point of the time that's going to be.
That's
off.
the playoff first round.
You're going to be 20. You're going to be 30
you're
days.
You're talking
from this
and
to
you're
this.
pointing at something that nobody can see.
No, I'm talking to you. Is saying my
but
point.
I got that.
My point is
you're talking to me, but you're not.
Is you're actually going to have before the first playoff. You're going to have like a bowl game, another potentially 30 days.
Do the other bowl games even matter at this point anymore?
No, I think they're just going to feed them in between, and they never really mattered in the last few years anyway, since everyone's been setting out, and then
transfer
the portal. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I wanted to bring that up because I thought the Thursday game was interesting in that. I didn't realize there was going to be a Thursday. Obviously,
because they're working around.
Obviously,
they're working around the NFL.
But obviously,
schedule.
you see the Tuesday and Wednesday. That makes sense for New Year's. All right. And then I had one other thing. Probability. You want to guess who the number one probability to make the playoff is? Sorry, to win the playoff?
Georgia.
Yeah, it was Georgia.
That's hard. That's easy. They have the highest FPI anyways. Ohio State should be number 2.
Yes.
And then I think they've got Texas in at 3.
Hold on, I erased it accidentally. Texas wasn't that high.
They might be 4.
This was odds for the 12.
They trying to put Michigan back in.
There you go. Texas was 3rd,
Texas
plus
was
700. You got Oregon, LSU, Alabama, Ole Miss, Michigan, Florida State, Penn State, Notre Dame,
Why
Clemson.
is Oklahoma not in there?
They're not in love with us this year. Schedule's too tough.
That means we're going to win.
Now, don't forget, Michigan plays USC pretty early on. And who else did they play?
Boy, they got DeBoer. They got the Alabama.
Is it Texas?
High stakes in his first season.
Is it Texas? Did they play Michigan too? Or Texas has a weird.
Do they have the return game with Michigan? Is what you're saying?
Yeah. What is the?
Or was that? Did they already play there too?
It's Michigan, September 7th. That's right.
So
yeah.
that's.
So Michigan opens with USC and then turns around and plays Texas right after that. So be a tell-all sign about.
Yeah, but that Michigan USC game is now a conference game.
That is correct. Is it? Well, I wonder if they move that then.
You'd have to see. But that's now a conference.
No,
game.
I'm pretty sure that is going to be.
That can't be a non. It's conference.
I know. September 21st. Sorry.
So they did move it.
Moved it back, but I think they were going to play them anyway. So you got Fresno, Texas. But they've got Texas at home, and then Arkansas State, and then they go USC. Washington's going to be down. Illinois, you never know. Oregon's going to be up, obviously, but they're at home. Michigan's set up for a pretty good schedule, except Ohio State. Obviously, they've lost a crap ton of people and their coach. So I'm not saying they're going to repeat or anything. What?
Oregon game.
What about it? Right there.
Are you saying that's a?
I think Oregon wins.
Oh, okay.
But I said they had them at home, so it's a little bit of advantage there at least. Yeah. So, all right. Anything else? College football? I have just one tidbit of NFL.
I know that Oklahoma State got a lineman in commitment. I know this week was all the big all the schools' big
camps,
parties.
Yeah, and camps. Yes.
No, I'd call them parties. No. I mean, this is their recruiting parties.
Yeah.
I mean, not camps, but.
Well, I think they did. I think OU had a camp this week.
Well, it's where like Colorado used to bring out the hookers and all that to get guys to come to their school. Barbecue, hookers.
It's going to be an interesting team.
Free cars, something. Yeah, we have an unproven quarterback.
This weekend, I'm sorry. This weekend's going to be
the championship.
A big.
Is that what they call it?
Yes.
Don't they call it championship?
So, according to 247 Sports, 2025 class has been good. No 5-stars, though, but 2 5-star offensive linemen, Ty Haywood and Michael Fasusi will be in Norman. Fasusi, man, I don't know if he's going to come, but it'd be a hell of a hit. And we need him for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's going to be our weak point, I promise you, when it comes down to it. So, the June 14th and 15th, we got a 5-star Haywood, Fasusi, Cortez Mills, wide receiver, 4-star. And then we got 3-star DL linebacker Luke Metz. He's an Alabama commit right now. Clemson commit. That's odd they're bringing him in.
Move your hand. It looks.
So they used to. He wouldn't do that. But anyway, that's going to be the visits for this 14th and 15th.
That is not a very.
Well, 2025 class. We've already got a lot of players now, and it's going to be one of our smallest classes we recruit. So they're not far off from being. Don't count the portal and everything, but they're not far off from
always be recruited.
Actually being done.
All right. No, I saw that everybody's doing their recruiting.
Oh yes, very busy
parties. Like I said, OSU. I know they got I think it's a 4-star, maybe. Offensive line, defensive line, something like that. Linebacker. Gundy's again in retention. Everybody applauded Gundy's retention for his team.
Well, that's half the battle these days.
I went and looked, and I had the Big 12 transfer rankings. I was so upset there was no OU Texas because I was looking through. I was like, where? Oh, that's right, we're not here anymore.
That's right.
I gotta move. All right. Oh, where's Destiny? I need help.
15 recruits right now for the 2025 class. Mm-hmm. And and we're ranked high because of the amount of volume right now. We're about at 10th, 11th right now. But we're going to get nicked a little bit when they call these stars because we've taken some of these 3-star kids because they're local. We got the Shield Knight kid who's really close. Actually used to be in Chelsea, used to live in Chelsea. And Marcus James, the linebacker from Carl Albert. And we took the Kamora Moore from Lee Summit, who's the defensive line. He's really good. I think he's going to be a star. And then took the Hollenbeck interior lineman from Melissa, Texas, who's also a 3-star. So I think they're taking some of these guys on potential and not what money's going to buy. You know what I mean?
Bo Jackson's son joins the Buckeyes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's going to that. Good God, man, just let your hair go gray. Sorry, it's a giant picture of Ryan.
I think this is a make or break year for him. He really needs to do something or the pressure is going to be on. But you know what they all fear is when the pressure, if he does have a really good year, he's going to the NFL. So, right, anything else on that?
No, like I said,
Where's the more going from wide receiver? Who's decommits from LSU? LSU's the one team that I'd like to know what they're going to do this year, and I cannot figure them out.
well,
Obviously, losing their quarterback is going to be interesting. He's from Texas. Okay.
at LSU, at Ohio State, Oregon, Texas.
Dadgummit. So.
Well, it's whoever pays him more, and then once he gets that money, he'll end up being able to move if he doesn't like it.
Portaling later if he wants to.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of Texas A&M guys did. They got paid, and then they portaled out.
Well, and Alabama did flip a dual-threat quarterback, Russell, from SMU. Is that that's news?
Well,
not saying that you can't have a good player at SMU, but I mean,
I've also looked at. It says that Big 12 might be targeting some ACC teams.
well, I think they're trying to get ahead of it because they know Florida State, Clemson's gone. As soon as they can get out of that, they're in the SEC.
Right. And they're gonna try to take as many as they can.
Which
are we going to see the collapse of ACC?
No, I don't think so because I think they could. They still have a pretty good class that could stay together. What they'll do is they'll poach, other go up north, try to poach some of those other schools, or turn around and get some of the Big 12 schools that are in that down in that side. I don't know. Central Florida might be one, something like that. I don't know.
Or try to,
but I don't think so.
Or try to merge.
I think
what the Pac-12 is doing with the Mountain West.
Yeah, something like that.
Where there's only 2 teams right now, and they can do that for another couple
But like
years.
I've always told you about those mergers, it's each one of them's got a commissioner who quits, who gets assistant commissioner. You know what I mean? There's money they miss out on, and they can't do it. That's what they're so afraid of, is that power and that control. When in the end, if the Pac-12 would have reacted rather than would have been proactive rather than reactive, they still would have been.
Oh yeah.
And not tried to be
but
so
remember,
damn greedy.
They were greedy. Top.
They were greedy.
They believed they were the top.
They got too greedy.
So I'm just gonna let you take over.
What do you got? I'm
NBA. You've got
NBA.
Oh
yes. Let's talk a little bit about NBA.
I would talk about Hurley right now. I think it's smart for him not to go. I think he's going to
see, and I think I totally disagree with you. I just totally disagree.
No, he's got a chance to be another Coach K.
Okay,
the Lakers' job is trash.
I'm not saying it's trash. I'm not saying that at all. And I don't even think it's the Lakers. But I think you win two consecutive championships at your school. Do you think you're going to win 3? Winning 2 was impressive. Well, let me back up. Winning 1's impressive, obviously. Winning 2, super impressive. You only have 1 returning starter. You're not going to win it again. Promise you. Let's just mark it. Let's slap that label on it. You're not going to win this year. And you could have made triple your money in the NBA for 8-year contract. How old is Hurley? What do you think? He's 50s, low 50s?
Yeah, he's got to be early 50s.
Okay. So let's look it up.
We're looking it up.
Well, I want to look. He's got right now a 6-year, $32 million contract at. He's making a little more than I thought. Then I thought he was in the 4s. So let's say he's at 5. So it would not have been triple. It would have been double your money. Still less though than Monty Williams makes at Detroit. They offered him a little below that, which was odd. It wasn't the highest paid, but it was the length of the contract, and so he's going to get. I mean, he's going to. But my point was, let me find his age. Hold on. I'm going to go. Okay, he's 51. I would have guessed 52. So he's 51. Let's say you sign a 10-year contract with the Lakers. You get that money guaranteed. You make sure that contract says, I get this money even if you fire me after 5 years and I go coach in year 6. There's no differentiating salaries or in that. I want it all. If you can't sign that, then you've got that. If he gets fired in 5 years, LeBron's gone by 5 years. LeBron might be gone after next year. I don't know.
Well, he's wanting to go wherever he's
hold on. So Hurley goes in there, and coaches and makes the money, and then comes back to college basketball as the number one guy to get any program he wants when he's done. Now, two things will keep you. His family's probably very happy where they're at. That could be a reason why. Not disagreeing with that. If you're happy with what you're doing, hell, what's $6 million to or $5 million to $10 million? I mean, I'd take it. A lot of more taxes, but a lot more cash. And it's LA market, which is tough. LeBron might be an issue there too. That might be a negative more than a positive.
Anthony Davis seems to be like a
you've
negative
got
right now as well.
You've got an aging team, not a lot of draft picks, because they're still paying. Obviously we talked about this. They do get one this year, but they give up their good one next year. That's going to be a better draft.
Well, and that's only because they allowed him to have it.
But maybe the second thing is
the Pelicans allowed him to have it. Pelicans could have taken that draft pick.
But they got to swap, which was smart. They'll take next year's. Yeah, they get next year's. But the thing about it is I think, honestly, when it comes down to it, is I think probably family and happiness, blah, blah, blah. Let's get past that. That's probably number one reason. But the second thing is I really think there's a hang-up somewhere in the negotiations. They'll never fucking say it. They'll never admit it. But something stuck that he wasn't happy about. It's somewhere. Maybe it's not years. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's control of the say and the team. Or there's something. So now the Lakers go from Hurley, who's won 2 national championships in a row, and you watch them hire J.J. Redick, who's never coached, and that's going to be the extreme right there.
And the players are going to keep running the team. That's one problem with L.A.
Now, there was a rumor that Jay Wright, former Villanova coach, who won a couple national championships there, he has been rumored to be in the mix. But I think that now that Pelinka, who's an idiot, I think that whole organization out there is run poorly. Ownership down. Because they're too meddling. Not as much as they used to be, but I think, look what they've done. I mean, they did win a championship during the COVID years with no fans.
Yeah, but that was a cheater year.
Correct. Short games, whatever. So then you turn around and you go from potentially Hurley to potentially Redick. I don't think they're going to settle on Redick unless there was an assistant from Cleveland, I think's one. The assistant from the Timberwolves is another one.
Well, Ham went back to...
Not an assistant from Cleveland. I'm sorry. Cleveland's looking at an assistant to coach them.
Bucks.
Yes. Ham went back to the Bucks as the assistant. And he wasn't the one necessarily at fault. I don't necessarily think he's a great coach. But anyway, I'm glad you brought that up to begin with because I disagreed with you. I would have took the job and then would have had the best.
No.
But like I said, if he's happy, your family's happy, stay.
You're settled.
I agree with that. But I don't think that's the
Listen
main.
to this,
I'm going to bet that ain't the main
Have a weekend
reason.
in LA.
I don't think that's going to be the main reason. I think there's some interlines. It took a little while to get this thing rolling. There was a lot of talk behind it, and he had some interest if it went that long. That's just what I'm saying. So anyway, talking a little bit about, let's talk about Game 1 and Game 2. Obviously, Celtics routed the Mavericks in Game 1. Yeah. What was, Sean, if you'd flip over that to third.
Can you tell me how they're letting Doncic get away with cradling the basketball while he goes for a layup?
Oh, I think they get away with everything.
Where he puts it on his hip. There's a picture of it, and he's got it on his hip.
Just holding it and walking up.
Yes, and he's literally trying to get around Holiday and go up for
So
it.
Game 1, 107-89, didn't surprise me at all. And the funny thing is about that is both teams shot about, obviously Boston shot a little bit better, 47% versus 41. But here's what killed the Mavericks. Here's what killed the Mavericks, and it was coming. It just didn't come against the Thunder. Was that three-pointing shooting just did not fall.
It's because
everything was falling.
Kyrie is thinking about Lee Brand and what Lee Brand said. Lee Brand said he did him dirty, and now they want to make love again. They want to get back together.
7 of 27 for three-point shooting that game. 25%, almost 26% for Dallas. Everything fell apart for them as far as the shooting, which up into that they had been rocking and rolling. And the Celtics make 9 more threes than they do.
What you're seeing is the difference in 3 coaches for Boston. You're seeing a coach who is understanding where to put players when you're going against the other team. Because he switches. he switches his players around all the time.
He's a better coach than I give him. That most people give him credit for.
We didn't expect him to do this.
Did not, and he looked pretty rough last year. Remember all the rumors,
Well, he
acting
wasn't
like he
there
didn't
last
know
year.
what he was doing. Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, it's his second year.
I thought it was his third year.
It might be his third, but he was definitely there.
I thought
No, it was Joel Mazuni. Is that how you pronounce it?
Missoula.
Missoula.
So I looked this up. He's the third coach.
No,
In 3
it
years.
was Brad Stevens, and they had the other guy that they fired who was
Having the inappropriate relationship with some office gal, and he's the coach of the Raptors, I think, right now.
Who's he screwing?
Oh, someone in the office apparently. Allegedly.
you already said it. All right, here we go.
Yeah,
Okay, so he came in,
last year. Yes,
came in.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Udoka
Udoka. Yes, Udoka. And I believe
was there.
Yes, Udoka. And I believe Udoka is the coach of. No, Darko is. Where's Udoka coaching at? Man, I was wrong about that.
Houston Rocket? No, he played for Houston. He's
The Rockets. Sorry, the Rockets. And they did better. Dude's a good coach. He really is. He's a Rockets head
Yeah,
coach
he's
now,
good.
and made a huge improvement in that team one time, and would have been going that way with the Celtics. But they, when he came in, there was a lot of grief for Mazzola when he came in. I
I'm
mean,
well aware.
it talked like he didn't know what he was doing. Had lost the team already. I mean, there was rumors essentially of them firing Mazzola. If we're firing him his first year, now look what he's done his second year. He lets the players play. He's a very matter-of-fact
But
coach.
he puts them where they need to be.
Well, look at Porzingis. I mean, but give Brad Stevens, who didn't coach as well.
Well,
but I think
Porzingis in the second game, Porzingis and Holiday switched or split time.
yeah. Well, Danny Ainge was there as the GM while Brad Stevens was there as the coach. But Danny Ainge would never make a move. He'd keep all these draft picks, but never make a big move, and never did. Then left. Now you look at Brad Stevens taking over in the GM role. It's been night and day. I mean, they bring in Drew Holiday, they bring in Porzingis, and those have been the biggest two. Obviously, Horford was a bring-in, but he was on the cheap. But still, he's a +7. So, I mean, and he's good. But Porzingis, to me, had been probably Holiday, actually, would have been the biggest, and then Porzingis right behind that. And they had to give up some picks to bring that in. But now they're turning in a championship. Obviously, 64-18 is their record right now. They're 37-4. Obviously, the number one basketball record in the NBA. No, I said 37-4 at home. But that was the best. They had the best record in the NBA. So, but Sean, you're right about the players. I mean, in that game one, you look at total assists was 23-9. That was a different. I mean, that was a huge difference in that. Besides the 3-point shooting that Dallas just couldn't knock everything down that they've been doing against these other things. Everything else.
And it's all about all about Mazzola changing and putting
everything else.
on the...
Everything else was pretty even. Then you go to the second game. Boston played by far way worse than they did in the first game. Shot less field goal percentage was 10 to 30.
They had a horrible game and still won.
But shot 25% for threes. But look at Dallas.
Dallas
they
only led in the first quarter.
And then they turn around and shoot 23% from threes. Dallas did in game two. Free throw percentage was obviously horrible, 16 to 24 at 66%. Boston only missed one and still had less. And then they still led in assists, they still led in steals, and Dallas led in turnovers. Boston, for shooting perspective, was one of their worst games actually in the playoffs, besides some of their losses. They're going to sweep, I think, and maybe Dallas gets one.
I hope they do.
But it's going to be a 4 to 5 game series. I think they're just that much better.
Jason Kidd talking shit.
Well, it's just they're better. Look at PJ Washington, for example. I mean, was an all-star against the Thunder. Scored 20, 30 points. He makes 17. He's 1 of 5 3-point. It's just it's one of those.
Did you see the fake Giddy? I think it was Giddy. Oklahoma City Thunder.
Was it a trade or what?
Go to Utah for money. They were like, "This is
just
fake."
for money.
Well, no, bigger contract, but yeah, it was.
We got to get something out of the guy. I think he is going to be moved, just because he doesn't fit what we're doing. I mean, if somebody wants a real
scheme.
If somebody wants a real point guard that moves the ball and feeds everybody and doesn't have to be the scorer, then he could fit somewhere. You know who really would fit there would be somewhere like Minnesota. They don't have a really true point guard.
You get one of their big guys?
Yeah, I don't think that's good. Well, the Lively guy, was it Lively? Is that his name? Or yeah, not Lively. No, it's not Lively. It's Hasim. Right. What was it? Look, I've got to know.
We could just trade. Oklahoma City just trade the point guard for for one of the biggers, one of the big guys.
Yeah, and it's the one I want, and they'll never give him up. Nas Reed is who it is. Reed, yes, Nas Reed would be perfect for the Thunder. All right, so anything else on the NBA?
I don't know.
No? All right.
I really had nothing. It's just Boston's up 2-0, which is I'm happy. I'm happy they are.
Okay, I want to close a little bit. I'll make it brief. And this was the big sports news that came,
sports news for you. Well, I didn't care.
That came across that Caitlin Clark was not nominated to be nominated to be one of the 12 on the U.S. Women's Olympic. Obviously, WNBA takes time off and they go over there. It's Olympics this year. No, I think you say who cares, but I think if you look at statistics,
Panthers up 2-1, 9:43 in the third.
But if you look at statistics for the WNBA, if you're building a business, and 150% just in attendance this year. You've also got TV highest ratings ever for the WNBA, money pouring into there. And then you turn around.
It's not money pouring in. You think it's money. That money's not pouring in.
Oh, it's compared to what? 0 to 100? That's pouring in to the poor. Okay, so I'm just going to let you know. The NBA is loving it because they're not having to subsidize as much.
They still have to subsidize.
They still will, but I'm saying that's like softball. Do you think that our softball team probably makes money, but the rest of them don't? So, I mean, but what I'm saying is WNBA, I mean, this is the biggest they've ever been in their entire history. And there's a reason for it. There's one gal that plays really good basketball.
And it's Christina Brink.
Probably one of the best all-time.
Brink, whatever her name is, Brink.
The best all-time players in college. And then they have a chance to build a brand in the Olympics watching women. I mean, can you imagine just NBC going, hey, you think you can slide her on that roster? Well, no one will now, and they're still not going to. But you see a pattern of people watching this. Now, is Caitlin Clark better than those 12? I don't know. She might not be. But I'm saying you sometimes, for the Olympics and for the people, and I guarantee you this, she's going to become an alternate. And I read some story, don't know how true it was, that they looked at her as one of the alternates if someone happens to drop out. Watch, she becomes on that team somehow because somebody is going to, quote, unquote, drop out.
Brittany Grainer's on there. She should be on the men's team.
Well, can she travel?
Who, Brittany?
To Paris?
Oh, I don't know.
You know, I mean, there's things to think about, but I mean,
are we gonna give up another?
I haven't.
Is she gonna leave her weed at home?
I haven't watched.
Did she not just buy Paris weed?
I haven't watched Brittany play this year.
Horrible. Oh no, she's had a toe injury. I'm sorry.
Okay, but she's on the U.S. She's on the U.S. team.
I don't know if she is or not.
No, she is on the U.S. team. That's
she just came back from a toe injury.
And then you've got Taurasi, who's giving shit to Caitlin Clark.
And they lost.
You've got Taurasi, who's 40s, that's giving shit to Caitlin Clark. No, it's just when you sometimes just see something and it's so obvious, and then they still go around it.
Yeah, I see
for
something
some reason.
and I don't care.
Well, no, I mean, a lot of people care. I mean, you don't, but statistically, by the viewership, a lot of people care about that.
Do you even know that the National Women's Hockey League just finished their season?
Nobody watches that.
Exactly.
But if they had someone that...
Nobody watches the fucking WNBA either.
Well, you'd be surprised.
Oh, I'm very surprised by a bunch of
It's more than softball.
Whining...
It's more than softball. Way more than softball.
Because we don't have a national softball league.
Way more than softball.
We don't have a national softball.
But we have college.
Are they on TV?
College women... Huh?
How much television? How much time are they on TV?
A bunch. And
they're on ESPN Plus.
Okay.
A lot of those games are on ESPN Plus. They're not on regular ESPN like the women's stupid basketball games. But I like women's college basketball. I don't like women's professional basketball. They're all a bunch of uppity bitches.
But I'm saying that college,
they're dumb.
That college basketball has led into the increase in the WNBA because those players are transitioning to the professional league.
I would rather watch women's hockey. I would rather watch women's soccer. I would rather watch women's softball.
You're in the minority when it comes to that, though.
You're right, because I'm Native American.
No, it's just you are. You just are.
White colonizer?
No, it's just you are, because the statistics will show you that it's much bigger.
The statistics will show you.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
Like statistics.
And all I'm saying is when you have the ability to shine your star and take her across seas
Cameron Brink is better than her.
I'm not saying about better. It's just you take them. Christian Laettner was on the Dream Team. Did you know that? Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
And that was his college transition. They were trying to transition those into that. Now you've got.
Do you even know the starting lineup of the Dream Team?
It'd have to be Jordan Johnson Bird. Is probably Stockton and Barkley. I don't think Barkley
Ewing.
Started. Had to be Stockton. He had to be the point. Michael was the shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, Magic was point, I bet. Yeah.
Pippen was on the team.
Yeah, but he wasn't a starter. You don't even know.
No, Pippen was definitely not.
No.
No, Barkley was a starter.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. Oh, well, let's Google it up. It'd be the 1996. Oh, no, 92. 92. And they probably rotated those starters. But anyway, just going back to my original point is for the U.S. Olympic team to leave her off, there's a lot of jealousy. Women can be women around other women. You've seen this. A lot of people are pissed because she's making so money. Especially
Jordan, Johnson, Barkley, Malone, and Ewing.
Oh, I forgot about Malone.
I'll call Malone.
Forgot about Malone.
Pippen, Robinson, Mullen, Drexler, Stockton, and Laettner.
Yeah. I forgot about Mullen, too.
Well, everybody kind of forgets about Mullen.
He was so good, though. Very underrated.
Very good, but very bland.
He'd bring that fucking high and tight right to the lane, and you'd be like, what? He just went past me.
Anybody see a white boy for the 50s just run by?
And kept that team good with, like, nobody else on there.
He really did. You never knew how that happened, but yeah.
Well, anyway, it was more of a marketing deal. It's just up 3-1 now, and the Panthers 7. Looks like that's going to be another to 2-0 to that. But hey, U.S.
Rodriguez
team
got the second goal.
U.S. team, bring Caitlin on.
U.S. team, who cares?
Just to do it.
The Olympics are garbage.
Just do it.
How many times has LeBron been on there?
You know, they're not doing softball this year.
I know.
Because
the American women dominate. If a
Is that what
certain
it was?
country dominates, they get rid of it.
Well, haven't we dominated basketball in the women's? No? I thought we had.
Let's see.
We'll give you your Olympic highlights
Yes,
in July. Hi, I'm Bob Costas here, and we're going to talk about the luge. I'd be the winner, wouldn't it? Winter is much more fun than summer.
It is really a skeleton, the luge, the bobsled.
Whatever that little thingy is where you sweep them in there down the deal.
Curling,
yes.
Curling's the greatest.
Yes, the ice sweeping is what I call it, yes.
I think you have mixed doubles with curling. I know for lead-ups you do.
I think that should be more popular. I can see why it's not, though, because expenses would be high to keep the ice, but some of these this Tulsa rink should set up some of that for curling on their off time. So, but anyway, gonna look at their last.
Okay, gold medals. They have gold medaled in 2020, 2016, 2012. They should be about to be getting done.
That's what I told you. I think that was every one of them. Yeah, for the last 6-8 years. Or it's not 6-8 years, 6-8 Olympics.
I stopped watching the Olympics. It got boring.
I did watch a lot of. Now you know what I'll find myself watching some nights is like gymnastics or something. If we've got some local, remember Oklahoma's had generally some local flair in the Olympics for gymnastics. So I tend to watch a little bit of that, and then you kind of watch, but watching the diving, the swimming and stuff, if nobody's really doing it. So, all right, here we go.
Popularity.
I see. It says it's only popular in the Americas, Asia, Australia, not outside of North America. Huh. And see, look at that. China, Japan, and Australia have won that.
IOC host rules are all different.
Gotcha.
Removal of softball from 2008 may have been negative impact for the game. Government reduced funding for it.
Oh, but it will return in the 2028 games in Los Angeles.
Yes! Just like lacrosse and squash and cricket and flag fucking football.
Yeah, see, football, I don't think flag football should be an Olympic sport.
Why? You like watching the fucking Pro Bowl?
I don't watch Pro Bowl.
Yeah, you did.
No.
You watched it this last. You're like, man, that was entertaining. It was 78 to 705.
No, I didn't say it was entertaining. I said I saw the events were more entertaining than just the football because the football's so bad. And they did a tug of war and stuff. I was watching that, so it was almost like what do you call that? Like the American Gladiators type deal. Make it into that, and that would be more entertaining than having them actually go play football.
Jackass will hurt
blow
his
a
knee.
knee. Yeah, exactly. All right.
Oh, Evan Rodriguez is 1 goal away from a hat trick.
Oh, nice.
And Florida's on a power play right now.
All right, there we go. All right, close you up. Thank you all. 3-1 right now, 6:46.
But I wasn't ready.
We're going to finish. Appreciate you all listening. Stay tuned for us. We'll see you next week for the next episode of Sports Allegedly.
Next week.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Bye.